Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on January 5th, 2018. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper, posted on public bulletin boards in the township website.
Sorry for the delay, folks. Our Public Works meeting ran a little bit late. Roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Here.
Councilman Halloran.
Here.
Vice President Crate.
Here.
Councilman Mumolo. Councilman Fosman.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Here.
President DeYoung.
Here.
Thank you.
All rise for the salute to the flag and a moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated. First up for this evening, we have our police promotions. Chief Riccio and the mayor, would you please come forward?
Evening, everybody. All right, tonight we are here for the purpose of promoting two of our officers. Those officers are Patrolman James Bartolucci and Patrolman Charles Kelly. Both are being promoted to the rank of sergeant. For the past several months, these officers have taken on the role of sergeants without the actual title, filling in where we had a void. I could tell you that both Jim and Charlie did an outstanding job, and these promotions are well deserved. So we'll move right on, but first I would have to be remiss if I didn't thank the mayor, the council, the business administrator for their continued support. And it's the reason why we're adding to our ranks here with supervision. These people understand our mission and they back us 100%, so we thank them. So our first promotion tonight will be James Bartolucci, badge 183. Well, Sergeant Bartolucci graduated St. Joseph's High School in Metuchen in 1989 and joined the United States Marine Corps. James retired from the Marine Corps Reserve in 2010, attaining the rank of gunnery sergeant and holding the title of Scout Sniper Platoon Commander. In December of 1999, James was hired by the Brick Township Police Department and was assigned to the Operations Division midnight shift. In 2004, he became a member of the Special Emergency Response Team, where he currently serves as a tactical operator and sniper. Sergeant Bartolucci has served as a field training officer and is an instructor in many different fields which pertain to department weaponry. James has received the following awards: Meritorious Service, Grand Cordon, Life-Saving, Hurricane Katrina Service, having deployed to New Orleans as a member of Strike Team 5. Sergeant Bartolucci will remain on the midnight shift and continue to serve as the supervisor of Squad B. James has been married to his wife Rachel for 19 years, and they have two children, Gage and Isabel.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. His son came up to me and introduced himself. Just after the club. And he said, "What's your name?" I said, "Gage." And Gage.
I, James Bartolucci, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of police sergeant according to the best of my ability. And that I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and to the government established in the United States and in this state, and authority of the people, so help me God.
Hi, guys. You so proud, Daddy? So proud.
St. Joe's too. 3 years before him, so he's going to be 50.
Oh,
Okay, next is Charles Kelly, badge number 241. That's what he did.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Told him he was getting promoted. All right, Sergeant Kelly graduated Brick Township High School in 2003 and was hired by the Brick Township Police Department in 2011. After successfully completing the coach program, Charlie was assigned to the evening shift. He has been a member of the CERT team since 2013 and has served as a field training officer. Sergeant Kelly is the son of retired Brick Township Police Captain Charles Kelly, badge number 23. Sergeant Kelly will remain on the midnight shift and continue to serve as the Squad H supervisor. Charlie is married to his wife Lauren and has 3 daughters, Grace, Emily, and Mary Kate.
Mary Jane. Or Kate.
I, Charles Kelly, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly, that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly, perform all the duties of the office of police sergeant, according to the best of my ability. I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in the state under the authority of the people.
I noticed.
Got it?
Okay. If all the officers in the room would come up.
Family photo. The one sneaking out, come back.
God.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, guys?
love to do. You get my good side, Chris?
I didn't bring my own drink, so this is, I'm just saying. I may grab
One more.
one too.
Oh. All right, moving on to our next presentation. It is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, and Mayor, Chief, and Councilwoman Ponterero, please join us down off the dais.
No. Oh, this is the 911 people?
Here they come.
Actually, their job is really
Everybody ready?
dispatching.
Okay. This is on behalf of council. Whereas emergencies can occur and do at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property, and whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from the citizens who telephone the public safety telecommunicators who serve the Township of Brick, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio and providing them information and ensuring their safety, and whereas public safety telecommunicators of the Township of Brick have contributed substantially to the apprehension of the criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients, and whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year, now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey as follows. We, the Council, join Mayor John G. Ducey in praising the men and women who serve the Township of Brick and all communities as public safety telecommunicators. We urge all residents to give thanks for the individuals who serve on the very first line among public responders. We'd like to present this to our telecommunicators on behalf of council.
That's all right. Our telecommunicators here in Brick Township are excellent. We've received many compliments from emails about how they stay calm. They heard all the information. They got whoever needed to be to the emergency there, which is the most important part. So it's great to be able to honor them here today. Every day, public safety telecommunicators need to provide consistent, excellent customer service and share the goal of protecting life and property, while also maintaining the highest level of professionalism under the most extreme circumstances. Very, very stressful situations that they have to deal with every single one of their shifts. These heroic individuals standing behind me and the ones who could not make it here tonight, they act often and probably always almost in anonymity. They help save countless lives, though, by responding to the emergency calls and dispatching the emergency professionals and equipment and providing moral support as well to the citizens who are actually in distress making those calls. Those people aren't actually acting calm because there's a stressful situation that they're dealing with. And every single shift, every single hour, every single call that comes in, the men and women standing behind me are the ones that have to always maintain the cool, the calmness, get the proper information out, find out where the activity is going on, and get the proper personnel there. They do such a great job, and for those reasons, I, John G. Ducey, the mayor of the Township of Brick and the County of Ocean and the state of New Jersey, do proclaim this week, the week of April 8th through April 14th, 2018, to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, and I want to personally thank each and every one of them for the jobs that they do every single day. So.
Yeah, and if I could, I would just have to say a big thank you to all of them. This is only a few of them. We have 21 full-time communications operators. And I just want to put it into perspective for you what they do each and every day. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again because it holds true. These are our hidden heroes. These are the guys behind the call that you don't hear about or see. But they're our first line. They're the ones that take the calls and get our officers there. They have to provide accurate information. They make sure that our officers are safe, making sure that any type of flags that are put on a house or a person are relayed to the officers so they can react appropriately. But last year, our department handled 86,280 calls for service. That's the number of calls that were dispatched out of the communication center. And that meant that one of these individuals or one of the other 20 or so were behind those calls. And that was nearly 2,000 more calls than we handled the year before. Of those 86,000 calls, 1,593 were fire calls and 9,740 were first aid calls. And over 123,000 phone calls came into the communication center last year, which means that those are phone calls that these guys had to pick up and handle accurately. So it's not an easy job. It's not one that everybody could do. It takes a special person, and these are those special people. So again, we want to thank them from all the officers from our department. So thanks.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have National Library Week, and from our Brick branch, Susan Gardner is here. And Vice President Crate, would you like to come down and give our resolution? Mayor?
Libraries are not just about what we have for people, but what we do for and with people. Libraries have long served as trusted and treasured institutions, and library workers and librarians fuel efforts to better their communities, campuses, and schools. They are the leaders in their institutions and organizations, in their communities, in the nation, and in the world. Libraries and librarians look beyond their traditional roles and provide transformative opportunities for education, employment, entrepreneurship, empowerment, and engagement, as well as new services that connect closely with patrons' needs. Brick Township is fortunate to be home to a branch of the Ocean County Library system. And this week, libraries, librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, and State of New Jersey, that we join Mayor John G. Ducey in recognizing April 8th through 14th as National Library Week in the Township of Brick, and we celebrate this year's theme, Libraries Lead. We urge all residents to celebrate National Library Week by visiting the library and taking advantage of all they have to offer. So on behalf of the council, I present this resolution honoring librarians in Brick. Thank you so much for all you do.
Libraries play an important role in the quality of life of a community as to provide citizens with a wealth of resources and information that can be used to enhance and enrich their lives. These resources include, obviously, books, magazines and periodicals, journals, encyclopedias, films, music, now internet access, a wide variety of programs and seminars, and of course, the knowledge and expertise of the well-trained staff of librarians. There's so many different programs and seminars that go on here at our library on Chambers Bridge Road that please check out their schedule. It's of all ages, too. My son started going there when he was probably 1.5 years or 2 years old for programs for children that young, and he wasn't reading then. He's still barely reading. He's right there, but he's only in kindergarten. He's working on it. The citizens of Brick Township are fortunate to have the Brick branch of the Ocean County Library in our community. The Brick branch of the Ocean County Library and its hardworking staff are committed to fulfilling their important role in our community by ensuring that all residents have access to their resources they need for job searching, housing issues, and more. The Brick branch of the Ocean County Library is joining approximately 120,000 libraries in the United States in celebrating the 60th anniversary of National Library Week. For all of these reasons, I, John G. Ducey, the Mayor of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim the week of April 8th through April 14th, 2018, to be National Library Week. I just have to change the date. It says 2012.
Mayor Ducey put it so well in reading the proclamation about the services offered by the library. We're dedicated to lifelong learning. One of the most common questions I get when I'm talking with people or with friends, family, and people are worried about, are there going to be books in the future? And I say, yes, it just may not necessarily be in the format you're used to. But I would just like to encourage you to support the library. And the easiest way for you to support the library is come to the library. Check out a book, look at a magazine, come to a program, take one of our internet classes or other classes that we offer. Or even so, sit at home and come to our website and access the hundreds of databases that we offer, among other things on the website. Or follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Information is always being given out that way. I began my library career in 1971. I was a sophomore in college and I started working in the college library. And I could not have foreseen or foretold where libraries and library services would have come to, or how we would have progressed now in the year where are we? 2018. It's just beyond. So just imagine 5 years from now, 10 years from now, services will continue to grow and expand. But even more important, these services are offered to the community of Brick free. The cost of a library card for a county resident is $0. And you can come in and make use of all these resources that are being provided. On a more personal note, I have worked for the Brick community and at the Brick Library for 28 years. When the present building opened, I was one of the new hires. And that said, after 28 years, I'm retiring this year. So it is bittersweet, very bittersweet, because I've enjoyed working for the library and also serving the Brick community in all those many years. but there'll be new faces and new things to learn and new things to explore. So come to the library or sit at home and visit our website. So, thank you very much.
All right, and our last, or no, not quite our last presentation, we still have our budget presentations. We have is National Volunteer Week. Now, National Volunteer Week isn't till next week, but since we don't have a council meeting next week, we are celebrating it this week. It is the week of April 15th, and this year we're recognizing the presidents of our youth sports organizations who volunteer a tremendous amount of time, energy, and effort so that our young residents can play the sport that they choose, but also, most importantly, teach them about teamwork and sportsmanship. If those presidents or representatives from the organizations please come forward. In Brick, we have Brick Township Soccer Association, Twin County Soccer Association, Brick Memorial Football and Cheer Association, Brick Dragons South Football and Cheer, Brick American Baseball, Brick Little League Baseball, Brick Lacrosse Club, and South Jersey NFL Flag Football. So National Volunteer Week is an annual celebration that is observed in many countries to promote and show appreciation for volunteerism and volunteering. It was first established in the United States via a presidential proclamation that was signed by Richard Nixon in 1974. But besides the benefits to society, scientific studies have shown that individuals who volunteer enjoy psychological and physical benefits, including increased satisfaction, improved sense of belonging, lower blood pressure. I don't know if that's true. I've seen some of you coach, so. Increased protection from Alzheimer's disease, and a decreased mortality. So on behalf of Brick Township and the Mayor Council, we thank you for our service to our town and our youth and making Brick better. I'm sorry, Councilwoman Zapsik, do you want to come down? So we have our certificates of appreciation that Councilwoman Zapsik is going to be handing out. For Brick Township Soccer Association is Emilio Torone, but unfortunately he could not make it, so Mark Boucher is here accepting for Emilio. Is Mark here? With the Twin County Soccer Association, Tom Bell, President. Brick Memorial Football and Cheer Association, Dave Betton. Brick Dragons South Football and Cheer, Rick Talmadge. Brick American Baseball, Tom Nerney. Brick Little League Baseball, Pete Dolan. Unfortunately, Alex Freeman from the Brick Lacrosse Club, he had a game today, so he couldn't make it, but we will get him his certificate. And then we have the South Jersey NFL Flag Football, Kelly Banka. So again, we thank you for molding our young kids and teaching them the sportsmanship and how to learn to win, to win gracefully, but also lose even more gracefully. Hopefully not lose a lot. But we really appreciate everything you guys do. You guys put in a tremendous amount of time just organizing, dealing with the coaches, then you have to deal with the parents, then you have to deal with your board. So we understand all the effort that you guys do or put into everything, and we just wanted to show a little bit of appreciation. So thank you so much. Now moving on to our next part of our agenda, we have our budget presentations. This evening, we have Dan Santinello with Recreation, Ken Mathis with Parks Department, and Ken Summers with the Department of Public Works. We are going to have the gentlemen do their presentations and then have questions afterward. All you, Dan.
Thank you, Mayor Ducey, Council President DeJong, Council Vice President Crate, members of the Council and Administration. On behalf of the Recreation Department, I am pleased to present our 2018 budget. Recreation, including our township beaches and Traders Cove Marina, served over 270,000 individuals this past year through our special events, camps, recreational sports, early childhood classes, beaches, and marina. The Recreation Department offers over 120 programs for children, adults, and seniors throughout the year. These include, but are not limited to, basketball, pickleball, softball, early childhood, and camps. Recreation also coordinates and manages special events including the Summerfest concerts, Fall Fest, Kite Fest, Movies in the Park, the Cultural Arts Series, including our concerts in the parks, and drive-in movies at Windward Beach. Recreation staff play a key role in implementing programs, events hosted by the Mayor's Teen Advisory, and assist the operator of Lounge 270, otherwise known as the Teen Center. Our township lifeguards and badge checkers provide beachgoers with a safe, clean, and well-managed beach throughout the season. We also contract services to 4 private beach associations this year, which we are reimbursed for those costs. Our professional, well-trained lifeguard staff has been recognized as the best in the area. Traders Cove Marina and Park provides our boating community with a variety of marine services. Traders Cove has concrete floating docks, transient slips, a double-wide boat ramp, jet ski ports, kayak and stand-up paddleboard storage, and a large playground. This will be our first summer that our resource building will be operational. This building has public restrooms on the first floor with private shower area for our slip customers. The second floor has a lounge area, washer and dryer, and a private bathrooms with showers for transient boaters only. The recreation staff is comprised of 9 full-time and 50 seasonal employees, including marina staff, camp counselors, and early education teachers. There was a slight increase in our overall budget due to our commitment to expand the many programs and services we offer to our residents of this town. Our beach consists of part-time employees, including 75 lifeguards, 18 badge checkers, and 10 maintenance workers. The salary and wage budget had a small increase due to the hourly pay for the returning lifeguards. We have about 60 of our guards returning from last year. The operating account for 2018 remained flat, and so as the overtime budget. That's also remained flat with a 0% increase. Overtime is only used at the end of the summer season when lifeguards begin returning to college, and other staff must cover their shifts, thus working 6 days a week. This is definitely becoming more challenging each and every year because colleges are starting their fall sport workouts a lot earlier than usual. In terms of Traders Cove Marina and Park, in 2017, we experienced $153,252.40 in net revenue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Ken Mathis with Parks Department.
I want to thank the Mayor and Council for giving me this opportunity to present the Parks budget to all. Parks is a division under the Department of Public Works. Our 17 full-time employees oversee our parks, sports fields, and also the grounds at township facilities. There are 20 parks that our employees maintain, including 10 basketball courts, 6 tennis courts, 3 bocce courts, 3 horseshoe pits, 3 football fields, 15 soccer fields, 6 miles of bike trail, and 22 baseball and softball fields. This past year, Waltnowski Park was renovated, and plans for Bernie Cook and Bayside Park are in the works. We also maintain our sports fields at our 40-acre sports complex at Drum Point. This complex is consistently recognized as one of the best in the state. This year, we will be hosting the Class C USA Softball Championship for the Northeast. There are 4 states that hold this tournament, and we are honored to be chosen for this event. Additionally, we manage 392 irrigation zones, 2,025 sprinkler heads. There are 147 acres of maintainable grass fields maintained by the parks. There are also many intersections maintained by the Parks Department, along with all detention basins in the township. We also maintain 10 beach and waterfront properties and provide more than 69 acres of lake management. One of our most time-consuming tasks is our annual fall and leaf spring collection, which takes 10 weeks starting at the end of October until the second week in January, when we then immediately move into Christmas tree collection for 3 weeks before moving into our spring leaf collection schedule. Outside of the daily maintenance of our facilities, we also oversee, like I said, the lake management, fertilization program, solar field maintenance, and synthetic field cleaning. The department is also responsible for setup and breakdown of all events at the Civic Center and at Traders Cove, along with Summerfest, Trunk or Treat, and other recreational events. Along with the 12-week scheduled leaf pickup, we also now manage the brush and leaf pickup the entire year round. We have taken on the responsibility for delivery and repairs of township-issued garbage cans. Tree removal is also now Parks' responsibility, along with all tax liens. The department continues to take on more responsibilities, and moving forward and renovating of all the parks. We look forward to the challenge, and we continue to work hard in keeping them safe and enjoyable for all of Brick. On behalf of the Parks Department employees, I want to thank the Mayor Ducey, Township Council, and Administration for their support of our efforts. And on a personal note, I've been as a park supervisor for 17 years now, and I've never seen an administration, council, and mayor provide all the support needed to maintain our parks and take care of all our facilities. It's because of you that we're able to do this at a high standard, and I thank you all.
Thank you, Ken. Ken Summers with the Department of Public Works.
Thank you, Council and Mayor, for giving me the opportunity to represent Brick Public Works in the presentation for our budget for 2018. I want to give you a brief overview of what the Public Works Department is all about, which includes utility crew, solid waste collection, building and grounds, vehicle maintenance, and parks. The sanitation department makes more than 2,700,000 stops per year to residents' homes. In 2017, we collected 33,570 tons of solid waste and 3,593 tons of bulk pickup. We drive over 6,000 miles per year, along with all the drainage repairs and replacements of our utility crew does an outstanding job and getting the beaches ready for the summer with the bulldozers. In-house construction has put up a new shed to house the garbage cans for the residents, so they get the cans, they look brand new, not used. The Parks Department does an excellent job maintaining all the parks in town. They also have spring, fall leaf pickups scheduled to deliver garbage cans and recycling to residents who purchase them. The 2017 capital included new equipment we will be using this year to better serve our residents. There are 3 major pieces of equipment purchased for our road crew. We purchased a crack sealer that the crew will use to seal alligator cracks in hot patch truck, which is highly efficient in repairing potholes. Any day now, we expect to be receiving a reclaimer, which reclaims the asphalt, so we don't less purchase of material from the asphalt plant, which will be turning all millions into the utility crew appreciates the council's support and the capital budget for these pieces of equipment, which will allow them to make repairs without the need of an outside contractor. They can do all the work faster, more efficient, thanks to the purchase of this equipment. Recycling, June to January 17, single stream picked up 4,336.63 tons. July through December, single stream was picked up 4,348 tons, .98, a total of 8,685 tons. Metal revenues were $77,358. 2016, it was $57,878,000. And county share revenue was $28,823,000. Our recycling coordinator has done work with Ocean County Medical Center, increased recycling tonnage. They have agreed to partner with us to display upcycle projects from the Brick Township schools, from the students, various schools, commemorate Earth Day. Trish has been working with the schools to upcycle projects to display at Green Fair and hospital and municipal buildings. Our goal is to continue to educate residents in the pitfalls of plastic and emphasize what is and is not allowed to recycle containers, and reaching out to senior communities to present the pitfalls of plastic bags, shopping bags. In terms of solid waste, the budget has an overall increase of 2.8 due to the purchase of new recycling cans, and the purchase of cans were previously done through capital, and starting this year will be in the budget to purchase throughout the operating budget to replenish the cans as needed each year. The road department operating budget 18% increase because of one-time purchase of GPS snow phones for the snow removal. These phones with an existing GPS system and allow the drivers to talk directly to the snow monitors and the staff of Public Works, allowing direct communication for complaints in the areas that need attention. Vehicle maintenance operating budget is increased slightly to accommodate training requests for welding, vehicle diagnostics, fuel pumps and tanks, and the heavy-duty mechanical classes. Our mechanics are eager to anticipating the receipt of the new tow truck, which was approved in the 18 capital budget. The tow truck will allow the service and tow vehicles without having to call an outside contractor, which we did receive today. Thank you very much. Again, I would like to thank the mayor and the administration and the council for their continued support. It matters to make a difference. The culture has changed in a much more positive way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. Ken, do you realize that your guys, the garbage trucks, drive around the earth 24 times it would be? That was 600,000 miles, or yeah. It's incredible. But all of you, all three of your departments and divisions, your employees are fantastic. I just want to say that. All the rec programs, the fields look amazing. All we get is compliments from our garbage and our recycling and the leaf pickup and all of that. So just thank you guys and thank the employees of those departments, please, that you guys do a great job.
Thank you very much.
So, council, comments, questions?
I just want to say these are my three favorite departments representing. I love I love police too, and everybody.
We'll check. The chief will be glad to hear
I
that.
just want to say, and administration. I just love our parks though, but this is what our community sees, and every day they see our parks. All of the wonderful neighborhood parks that we have and how well kept they are, all the great things that are presented through recreation. Brick is the place to be. It really is. And our DPW, who work very hard, you call for bulk pickup, they're there a couple days later, you can't beat it. They know the difference between tin and metal apparently, and we don't. So really, I love your three presentations. Thank you.
I'd just like to say that
I'm glad the council agrees that all the equipment that we buy for DPW, parks, and everything, that equipment is well used, and it saves a lot of time and makes it more efficient for us. And I'm glad you guys know how to operate it all, and it makes improvement to the town.
Jim wants to drive the tow truck.
Anybody from the public? Questions? Very good. Close public. Thank you, gentlemen. You're excused. Okay, moving on to our consent agenda. Finally.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. Resolution 5-1, recognize National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 8th through the 14th. This resolution recognizes the work done by the men and women who serve as public safety telecommunicators for the Township of Brick. 5-2, recognize National Library Week, April 8th through the 14th. Council Vice President, would you like to speak on this?
Yes, as said earlier, in case you didn't know, I am a librarian, so this week is very near and dear to my heart. And as our public librarian said earlier, if you have the chance to get to a library, really try to get there. There are so many amazing programs offered, so we're grateful to have a really wonderful library here in Brick.
Thank you. Resolution 5-3, recognize Mayor John G. Ducey, the ARC Ocean County Chapter 2018 Humanitarian Award. This resolution recognizes Mayor John G. Ducey as the recipient of the 2018 Humanitarian Award from the ARC Ocean County Chapter at the Rock the Night Dinner and Dancing event on Thursday, April 19th at the Crystal Point Yacht Club. For 60 years, the ARC has served people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families, and they are honoring Mayor Ducey along with Mr. Matthew Redmond, who will receive the 2018 Heart and Soul Award. Congratulations, Mayor. Resolution 5-4, Certification of Compliance, United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. This resolution certifies compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidelines on the consideration of arrest and conviction records in employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This is a requirement by the Division of Local Government Services as part of the 2018 municipal budget submission. Resolution 5-5, authorize receipt of bids roadway improvements to Holly Hill Cove. Mayor Ducey?
Thank you. This resolution authorizes receipt of bids for roadway improvements to Holly Hill Cove, and that includes Holly Berry Lane, Deer Path Bluff, View Drive, and part of Tanager Way, where there's a small portion that was paved 3 years ago as part of a residential development. So we're not repaving that part because it was just done a few years ago, but the rest of the other parts of Tanager Way. The project was included in the 2017 capital budget, and it's one of the areas of town, Holly Berry Lane and View Drive, that I hear about on Facebook Live and emails from residents. So people in the northwest portion of town in that area, Holly Hill Cove, are going to be seeing some road work very soon.
Thank you. Resolution 5-6, authorize receipt of bids, roadway improvements to Birchwood Park Phase 2. Mayor?
Thank you. This resolution authorizes receipt of bids for roadway improvements to Birchwood Park Phase 2. And this is people over in Birchwood Park, which is behind the Civic Plaza, behind the Warren Wolf School, in case you don't know where that is. A big portion of their neighborhood was paved. Another second portion was then paved, and now we're moving on. I know it says Phase 2, but it's the third project that I know of since I became mayor that we did down there. So a lot of these people were waiting. Oh, my neighbors got paved. You must know somebody on that street. What's going on? How come mine's not paved? But here you are, just next in line. So it includes Orangewood Drive, Orangewood Court, Elmwood Drive, Elmwood Court, Elmwood Place, Oakwood Drive, part of Sprucewood Drive, Larchwood Drive, and Boxwood Drive. And this project was also included in the 2017 capital budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 5-7, authorization of HVAC services, use of proprietary language for municipal complex. Councilman Fosman.
Thank you. This resolution acknowledges proprietary language for HVAC services for the equipment used at the municipal complex. In 2010, the township replaced the HVAC system with a new energy-efficient Hanover-Schneider system that requires occasional updates and maintenance. The mechanical components of this system require quarterly inspections, maintenance, service, or repair from time to time. This resolution provides a proprietary language to be included into the bid for services that require service technicians to be factory trained, certified, and authorized by Hanover Schneider for the municipal complex HVAC systems. Thank you.
Resolution 5-8, authorize receipt of bids, HVAC services. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for HVAC services as discussed for specific system at the municipal building. Resolution 5-9, authorize award of bid and rebid Summerfest food truck vendors. This resolution awards a bid for Summerfest food truck vendors in 6 categories. Tony's Italian Sausage, Hazlitt, with the bid amount of $1,082 for hot food, including sausage and cheesesteak. John and Debbie O's, Tom's River, with a bid amount of $1,116 for grilled fried items. John and Debbie O's, Tom's River, with a bid amount of $1,616 for ice cream. Shore Shake, Tom's River, with a bid amount of $1,000 for specialty beverages. John and Debbie O's, Tom's River, with the bid amount of $1,016 for miscellaneous snacks. And My Three Cobb's Corn Roasting, Brick, with the bid amount of $853 for miscellaneous snacks. A notice to bidders was placed in the Asbury Park Press and on the township website. In addition, 84 bidders were notified from the bidders list, of which 10 potential bidders requested bid packages. 6 bids were received, and the township established a minimum bid of $750 per category. This resolution also authorizes the rebid for the remaining 2 categories to include Category 1 for pizza and Category 4 for deli, salads, sub-sandwiches, tacos, wraps. So if you're interested, please bid for pizza and deli. Resolution 5-10, authorize award of bid, beer and wine garden concession. This resolution authorizes the award of bid for beer and wine concessions to Three Boys Corporation, otherwise known as the Windward Tavern, Princeton Avenue and Brick, in the amount of $6,150. There was an established minimum bid rate of $5,600 to provide this service at the 4 Summerfest events and the Fall Fest event. A notice to bidders was mailed to 28 potential bidders, of which 2 requested the bid packet. 2 bids were received and 1 was rejected for failing to meet the minimum bid requirement. Resolution 5-11, authorize award of bid, aerial fireworks exhibition. This resolution authorizes award of bid for aerial fireworks to J&J Computing, also known as Fireworks Extravaganza, Rochelle Park, in the amount of $19,995, which is $3,999 per event, for the 5 fireworks displays events, which include 2018 Summerfest events and the Fall Fest events. 2 bidders picked up the bid package and 1 bid was received. Resolution 5-12, authorize award of bid, ice cream truck vendor at Windward Beach and Traders Cove. This resolution authorizes award of bid for an ice cream truck vendor to Muscle Pizza, Tom's River. It is an ice cream truck, believe me. In the amount of $802. The township established a minimum bid of $500 for exclusive rights to both locations, or $250 for either location. In this contract, the vendor agrees to visit each park daily from Memorial Day to Labor Day. A notice to bidders was placed in the Asbury Park Press and on the township website. In addition, 84 bidders were notified from our from our bidders list, of which 2 potential bidders requested bid packages. 2 bids were received, with Muscle Pizza being the highest. Our township administrator and recreation director inspected the fleet of ice cream trucks and confirmed that the vendors' availability to offer a wide variety of ice cream and cold drinks is all there. Resolution 513, authorize rebid ice machine concessions at Traders Cove Marina. This resolution authorizes the rebid of an ice machine concession at Traders Cove Marina. 2 potential bidders were notified, but no bids were received during our initial solicitation. Resolution 514, authorize rebid supply and operate ATM machine. This resolution authorizes the rebid of an ATM machine at township facilities. 9 potential bidders were notified, but no bids were received during our initial solicitation. Resolution 515, authorize rebid Fall Fest food vendor concession. This resolution authorizes the rebid for a Fall Fest food truck vendor. 2 potential bidders were notified, but no bids were received during our initial solicitation. A notice to bidders was placed in the Asbury Park Press and on the township website. In addition, 84 bidders were notified from our bid list, of which 2 potential bidders requested bid packages, but unfortunately, no bids were received. Resolution 516, authorize award of contract 1 towable boom hybrid scissor lift with accessories through the NJPA National Cooperative. Councilman Fosman.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract for the purchase of a towable boom scissor, hybrid scissor lift, and accessories through the NJPA National Cooperative in the amount of $60,810.80. The NJPA has awarded a contract to Terex USA, Waverly, Iowa, who will work through the dealer network for which this equipment will be purchased from United Rentals, Wall, New Jersey. The scissor lift was funded in the 2016 capital budget and will be used for our Buildings and Grounds Department. Thank you.
Resolution 517, authorize placement of tax liens for property cleanups. This resolution authorizes placement of tax lien in the amount of $325.34 at 130 Woodland Drive. Resolution 518, authorize special events permits, Kentucky Derby Hat Party. This resolution authorizes a special events permit for a Kentucky Derby Hat Party event on Saturday, May 5th, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. at Beacon 70. 519, authorize special events permit, Pet Adoption Day. This resolution authorizes a special events permit for a Pet Adoption Day event on Saturday, May 19th, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. at St. Raphael's Church on Route 88 West. Resolution 520, authorize special events permit, Marina Party Pig Roast. This resolution authorizes a special events permit for a marina party and a pig roast on August 11th between the hours of 1:30 and 9:30 p.m. at Jersey Shore Marina on Route 70 East. Resolution 521, bond releases and reductions. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. 521A is a performance bond reduction for Mark Fusori on Maniloking Road in the amount of $90,578.47, being reduced to $82,798.19, returning $7,780.28, and the cash performance bond in the amount of $10,064.27, being reduced to $9,199.79, returning $864.48 at the project completion. 521B is a reforestation bond release for Artis Holding LLC on Jack Martin Boulevard in the amount of $59,100.
Thank you. Resolution 522, tax collector, Mrs. Bergen.
Thank you. 22A, tax overpayments for the year 2010. There is one in the amount of $20.45. 22B, tax overpayments for the year 2017. There is one in the amount of $384.34. 22C, tax overpayments for the year 2018. There are two, one in the amount of $192.17 and one in the amount of $167.84.
Very good. Thank you. That ends our consent agenda. Open to council. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, open to public. Mr. Gross.
I'd like to talk about 5-3.
Okay.
Mayor, that was a great appreciation from the entire state of New Jersey, not just Brick Township. So thank you for all of your efforts and humanitarians. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Gross. Anybody else on the consent agenda? No? Seeing none? Close consent agenda. Roll call, please.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Councilman Bosman, second by Councilwoman Zapsik. Roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponterero.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now on to Bill Resolution Manual 2018.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $1,060,177.43.
Any questions from council? No? Open it up to public. Seeing none, close public. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Ponterero, second by Councilman Halloran. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Abstain on New Jersey press media, and yes to the rest.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponterero.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Abstain on CME Associates and yes to the rest.
Thank you.
Did you read computer bill? Because I said computer manual.
I
Or
read-
manual.
I read the computer
Okay.
bill.
That was the computer. Now it's 524, Bill Resolution Manual 2018.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,687,452.16.
Very good. Open to council? No. Can I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Ponterero, second by Councilwoman Zapsik. Open to public? Seeing none, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponterero.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Abstain on CME and yes to the rest.
Thank you.
Now we are on to ordinances on first reading, which there is no public hearing on first reading. Amend Matitaconk Village redevelopment plan.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending the Matitaconk Village redevelopment plan.
Mayor?
Thank you. This is the Matitaconk Village redevelopment plan, better known as what we all call the Old Food Town, and this is the plan that to bring it back to life. We're in the process of revitalizing that site. As we all know, it's a dilapidated and underutilized property and right in the heart of Brick Township. The plan was developed to outline the objectives and standards by which the redevelopment of the site will be accomplished. We have to amend the plan at this time. It's necessary to allow for the site to be developed for the dual use that we all know of already, that features the indoor sports building, recreation community facility, and that's in the rear of the site, and then the component retail in the front of the site. So we already know both developers have been identified. We all know about the lawsuit that was settled, and we brought the new developer on board for the sports dome, but settled with the original redeveloper for the front portion of the property. They're working together on a concept plan that is going to be presented to the council and to the planning board. The redevelopment plan is essential in identifying the best uses for the site, which facilitates the sale of the property and the site plan applications which come next. So this is just the next step in the process. This amendment is a huge step in the process towards the development of the property with ideal uses that enhance our community by removing an eyesore and replacing it with great projects that provide our residents with yet another opportunity for connectivity with one another and activities for families, activities for seniors, young people, middle-aged people, families, single people. It's for everybody, the sports dome, as well as, obviously the retail is always for everybody. One thing that's important to point out in the redevelopment plan is, we actually, the township owns that piece of property, and as such, we have some control over what goes there. And one of the things that's not going to go there is a gas station, because we have gas stations everywhere. So that's one thing that's specifically being eliminated by the council if they pass the plan. This is the first reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Pontorero, second by Councilman Halloran. Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes. Next, we have our ordinances on second reading. Cap rate index ordinance.
Calendar year 2018 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 40A 4-4514.
Thank you. This allows the township to establish a cap bank for future use. The ordinance allows for increases to budget appropriations and allows the township to bank any unused monetary room. This cap bank ordinance allows the township to increase budget appropriations by 3.5% over the prior year's appropriations and to bank any unused appropriation for the next 2 succeeding years. By having a cap bank, we have appropriation room to handle disasters. The ordinance is simply precautionary. It is not funded through a tax increase since it is only used in subsequent years should we need to fund an emergency one-time expenditure. The only time in recent years the township used this was to fund emergency response for Superstorm Sandy. We are not generating cash, we are creating the ability to raise money should we need it. If the funds are not needed in the succeeding 2 years, the bank is simply dissolved. Can I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Halloran, second by Councilman Fosman. Open to public. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes. 7.2, amend Chapter 288, traffic regulations.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 288 and establishing various traffic regulations applicable to Skyline Drive.
This ordinance is a recommendation from the Council's Public Safety Committee. Residents of Winding River Village have repeatedly requested that Skyline Drive be added to Township Code Section 288-42, Schedule 12 through streets. This designation will allow for the installation of stop signs at roads intersecting with Skyline Drive, which is the main thoroughfare through Winding River Village. There is also a small side street off Skyline Drive at the entrance, also known as Skyline Drive, which they are requesting be officially deemed a one-way street. It is currently being used as a one-way, however, there is no signage in place. Residents know it's used as a one-way, but some guests and visitors do not, which creates confusion. Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Pontorero, second by Councilman Fosman. Open to public. Seeing none, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Halloran.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Winding River Village. I know this is something that you've been waiting for a very long time. And now we are up to the public comments part of the meeting. Madam Clerk.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. Who's first? Mr. Sluka.
Good evening. John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. Reading my letter to the mayor and the council president and all the council people and everybody in Brick. A 14-foot noise pollution and safety wall, as well as increased shrubs and trees on both sides of that wall, is needed in Evergreen Woods, Sutton Village, Primrose Gardens, Greenbrier Complex, behind the Brick High School and other areas in Brick. The commissioners of the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, in fact, are killing us and making life in Brick a hazard to our health while we live here. Do we want to stay ignorant of the facts as outlined in hundreds of studies on air pollution and health, or are we just lazy and hoping someone else does the work for us? Do the bureaucrats in the government take the time to explore and research publications as to the way that the expanded Garden State Parkway has subjected our residents to the toxins that cause increased asthma to our children, ever-increasing incidence of autism of newly born babies, and premature deaths to our seniors? Let me note a few studies that only represent hundreds of others. Maybe some heard of the March of Dimes study, where they state exposure to air pollution during pregnancy can increase the risk of premature birth and low birth weights, or where they mention the exposure during pregnancy may increase your risk of stillbirth, or even when they state that the exposure to air pollution may affect your child's health, especially breathing and learning during later in life. In the study, they talk about how carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas that comes from various things, including cigarette smoke and car exhaust. People often call it a silent killer because you can't smell or taste it, but exposed to you, it kills you. Maybe one may be familiar with the Reuters Health article where it mentions exposure to air pollution early in life contributes to the development of asthma in early childhood and in adolescence. The exposure is thought to cause asthma by affecting the size and structure of the developing lungs and immune system. Maybe one needs to read the article in Atmospheric Environment, Volume 99, where they talk of air pollution and early deaths in the United States. In the abstract, they state that combustion emissions constitute the largest source of emissions and lead to the degradation of air quality in human life. In one part, they talk about computing the fine particle matter exposure and the number of early deaths caused by the emissions. They attribute exposure and early deaths to the sector and the location. Maybe the bureaucrats need to understand that article by Justin Warland in Time Health, where he states that over 3 million people worldwide die from exposure to airborne particles. He also states that in the United States, the greatest source of these fine particles are from road traffic. The chief cause of deaths from the exposure are stroke and heart disease in the elderly and acute lower respiratory infection in young children. One of his conclusions states that researchers show that tens of thousands of people in the U.S. face early deaths because of the exposure to the air pollution. Two other studies funded by Autism Speaks, where Alicia Halliday, the senior director, states the study provides new documentation of a link between autism and an interaction between genetics and the environment. In another 2017 study in the Journal of Epidemiology, where Weisskopf and Brady state that the elevated risk associated with exposure to nitrogen dioxide, which is a traffic pollutant tracer, and increased odds of autism spectrum disorder. One other study in the National Nurses Health Study, where they write about the small worrisome particles that penetrate deep into the lungs, have the greatest impact for people near major highways. One has to wonder if the parents of autistic children will sue the New Jersey Turnpike Authority commissioners or even join a class action suit someday, and I wonder if the school system or our local government will join these suits. A 14-foot pollution wall will not cure all the problems associated with this pollution from the Garden State Parkway, but if it helps one senior live their life just healthier and a bit longer, and it prevents one child from getting autism or asthma, then the efforts to help will be well worthwhile. Government needs to help the residents and someday end the New Jersey Turnpike Authority's Commissioner's reign of terror. I yield back 10 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, sir. Michelle.
Good evening. I'm Michelle Spector, Evergreen Woods. I recently wrote a impassioned email to the governor's office. I called the governor's office, and I was directed to someone that actually gave me an email to request a site visit from the governor's policy advisor. So, Joan, I sent the email address to you, if you could do the same thing. I just sent it tonight. I just, I had to dig up the email, so, okay, because we really have to just keep pushing them to do this, because I think once they see it, hear it, and smell it, they'll get it, because the governor's office is the only one that stands over the Turnpike Authority, because they're just a bunch of bullies. And I'm tired of getting to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't handle it anymore, so please do something. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Campbell.
I'm here to propose an ordinance similar to what Tom's River proposed and passed last year on landlords and rentals and having their COs revoked or suspended for renting to someone who is convicted of a crime or offense during their time of living at the rental property, criminal or illegal activity occurring on the premises or engaged in by the occupants, whether or not the activity results in an arrest, charge, or conviction, as well as many other reasons. I strongly suggest you guys adopt this plan because we're going to start losing our neighborhoods just like we've lost the apartments. I live next door to a drug dealer, and I suffer every single day. My neighbor has continued to operate a drug home with the windows open nearly every night this winter. The police raided the residence, found weapons, discovered the home was being used as a drug dealing operation. They had illegal high-capacity magazines, and widely allowed to remain in my neighborhood. Evictions need to be set in place from the township in situations like this where public safety is at risk. One bad cook in my family his life can be at risk. The lives of the surrounding residents are at risk as well from these thugs. The remaining residents not behind bars have continued to sell drugs and operate from the residents. I've personally watched a dozen drug deals go on, all while sitting on my couch. The day after the thugs moved in, I was solicited drugs and harassed for a ride to a liquor store at 8 a.m. How would you feel if that was your son or daughter offered drugs? This is our neighborhood. I've lived there for over 20 years. My family and I have had our lives threatened by these criminals who are obvious gang members. The one who introduced himself to me himself to me by his gang name and his initials. So that was pretty uncomfortable for myself. I was harassed and mocked for being disabled while these thugs continue to deal drugs in front of my eyes every single day. They harassed me. They called me a faggot, a homosexual. They called me all types of slurs and disgusting comments in my own property, and then harassed me for being a disabled person, which is really cool. After the raid, the mother of the children continues to deal drugs. I've personally watched her step over her kids playing in the front yard to run out and pass something suspicious to a car that pulled up. She sprinted back inside and was oblivious to her own kids that remained playing unattended by themselves. She felt more safe with the random drug purchasers with her children, and I saw it with my own 2 eyes. No resident of Brick should have to live under these conditions with obvious criminal activity living next door. I fear for my father's, and my sister's safety from these thugs. An ordinance needs to be put in place from this town to prevent criminal gang activity living in our neighborhoods. They are destroying this town from the inside, How many times do the police need to raid this house before they're forced out? Another time is, I think one's enough. But they're still dealing drugs. They were dealing drugs 2 days after the raid, and it continues every night. I've put security systems in my house. The woman leaves, in which the husband, I'm probably going to go over, but this is public safety, so I've watched her leave at like 11, 12 o'clock at night when she's supposed to be the only resident, which I'm suspecting she's leaving these 2 kids that are under 8 years old, I would assume, unattended till, and my security cameras pick her back up coming home 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And nope, the landlord, after I told the landlord of this the day after they moved in about dealing drugs to me, the landlord said to basically be their doorman and tell her when anyone comes and goes, and I can't do that, obviously. I don't have all day. But the man who lives in the house is in prison still. He'll be released in a week or so, and then that should be the only man that's living there, but currently several gang members live there. And they come and go. They speed recklessly. I fear for everyone's. They threatened me. They threatened another neighbor. The entire community has my support, and what I'm stating here, I'm speaking for my entire Cape Breton community. And if I receive no cooperation and you dismiss this and you don't want to do an ordinance, I will start live streaming the video and posting it to all forms of social media for everyone to see. And I'll offer this service to all the other residents in town who have drug dealers living next to them, and I will expose this problem single-handedly. I would just want to give you guys the charges of the man Jihad Anderson. I don't know if you guys want to define, look up a dictionary what Jihad stands for. You'd be, it's self-explanatory. Conspiracy to possess with intent heroin over 5 ounces, possession of cocaine, possession with intent cocaine, possession of paraphernalia, unlawful possession of a high-capacity magazine, possession of controlled deadly substance heroin/fentanyl. I don't want to live like this every single day. I hope that you guys are serious to setting a resolution. Tom's River did this and approved this, and I trust in you guys because you guys, I love this home, and I've lived here for over 20 years, and I can't sell my home. I have a remodel I want to put in my home, but the drug dealer next door is preventing it.
Mr. Campbell, we actually passed an ordinance quite a few years ago called the Responsible Landlord Ordinance. Mr. Starkey, do you want to explain it?
I'm aware of the one that Tom's River passed. I actually believe Tom's River modeled theirs on our ordinance. It was passed 4 or 5 years ago. It's exactly what you're calling for. We call it the Landlord Responsibility Ordinance, and I have personally prosecuted landlords in town under that ordinance. It requires tenants in the property to be charged, and they have to be convicted for due process rights, to be convicted of at least 2 offenses, and then we can charge the landlords with violations of that ordinance, and we've been successful in prosecuting landlords and requiring them to post a bond to ensure that the property is properly leased in the future, and that has resulted in the eviction or the vacation of those tenants. So we are keenly aware of the problem, and this mayor and council have taken concrete steps to address that, in addition to the steps that I know the police department takes every day to address this problem you're talking about. So you know, we are taking aggressive steps, and they've told me as a township attorney to make sure that that ordinance, not only after it's adopted, but gets effectively enforced and aggressively enforced here in town.
Okay, it appeared that Tom's River did this prior to, was putting this ordinance prior to convictions. The CO can't be revoked if the police tactically raid the house and find drugs. It's not even a debate. It's obviously guilty. This is a drug operation. The windows are open every night. In the middle of January and February. You keep your windows open?
Sorry,
I'm just saying, it's an operation.
It's the idea of revoking a CO is not an avenue. Those are building issues, construction issues. But the effective way to do it is to hold the landlord responsible for actions of their tenants. And believe me, that puts tremendous pressure financially on the landlords to make sure they rent to responsible tenants going forward.
Okay, it doesn't sound like, I've looked over it, like the ordinance, the thing, and it looked like it was just basically you have to make complaints. I don't know, I'll have to speak when you have to submit like a
I'd be
formal
happy to talk
complaint,
about
like
it.
I,
I
okay.
can get you a copy of the ordinance, too.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
regarding the allegations about the children,
That's fact.
1-800-NJ Abuse. If you suspect that the children are being abused, what will happen is within 24 hours of your phone call, and you can be anonymous, they must, DIPERS must, DCPMP must go out and check on those children. Please call.
Yeah, DIPERS is already involved. I've seen them parked in front of the houses, but
You
I'll
can
call
keep
again.
calling anytime that you have a reason to suspect child abuse. 1-800-NJ Abuse.
Okay, thank you.
Nan Carl, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. I remember when Brick Township put that ordinance in. It had to do it emanated from the severe problems at Sawmill. I think that Maple Leaf Condominium, which has the address of Sawmill. I have not seen the gentleman who had been here time after time after time about the drugs being sold and the condominium complex having been taken over by absentee landlords who rented it out, and they didn't care who, as long as they got their money, which generally came from Section 8 housing. And I have nothing against people on Section 8 housing, but I do when landlords use it as a tool and are taking money falsely. About having 2 convictions, I didn't recall. It was several years ago that the ordinance went through. And Mr. Campbell's comments I took to heart. Number one, because I've witnessed a situation before I moved to New Jersey where there were drug dealers. I also witnessed a situation on the other side of the street where children, were probably not abused but neglected, and the equivalent of DIFUS was called. They didn't come out after dark when the mother and father of these 2 children that were very young, preschool, and they had them out at 11 and 12 o'clock going through the recycling bags and taking out soda bottles or what have you, because in Brooklyn you could bring them to a center where they had a place that sold them, charged a deposit, and you could bring them in and get the deposit for it. And a lot of people would throw them in the garbage. So they went out at that hour of the night, and they were on public assistance. But nobody now, no social worker ever goes out after something like 6 o'clock in the evening to check and see. So this happened all the time, and neighbors complained. And it was only a few doors from me that there was a home that was taken over by a bunch of drug dealing. And yes, I went to the Mill Basin Civic Association and was very vocal about it, and nobody ever really did anything. I'm not sure. I know that they eventually got out, but I'm not sure how. I would like to know what is in the Toms River ordinance, or whatever you want to call it, that is supposedly modeled after ours. Does it require 2 convictions?
I'm not familiar with the details. I just know the general concept that was adopted in Toms River is similar to the one we adopted a few years ago.
Similar to, but maybe not modeled after ours. Maybe it's something better. And mostly, since my time is running out, and I will definitely be cut off, maybe no one else would, if the people don't know, ordinances are no good. And if the people don't know what they should do, thank you, Councilwoman Ponterero, for giving the 1-800 abuse, I think you said, because that is something. Oddly enough, I wonder how many of you have Facebook pages, and how many of you watched Mark Zuckerberg lie and lie and lie about it till I have a post on my page that said Did you hear the loud roaring of the person, the screams, and the smoke billowing up out of Greenbrier too? Oh, no, you didn't, because only in my house could anybody hear it and see the smoke at the farce of it. And I posted on Facebook at the time several things. But one was that the New York City runs ads. If you see something, say something. And I urged people that when they see something to contact a person in authority, and that that person will have the responsibility and will take it. They will take an anonymous and investigate it, and we are not capable of investigating. So you tell the person, I don't know. I did that once too, by the way, now that I think about it. There was loud screams from a car parked in front of my home, and there was a young woman. She wasn't even a woman. I think she was a girl with a bunch of guys. And I called the police, and I said, I'm not sure what's happening, but I think somebody better go and check it out. Well, it was a bunch of them having fun and carrying on, and she was screaming.
Mr. Campbell, if you'd like to give me your address, I can talk to the chief afterwards, and I can get contact with you, and we can find out what this is all about. All right? Okay, great, thank you. Because I didn't hear your address when you came up, so that's why I'll get it after the meeting, okay? Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Briggs?
I'm gonna be good. Andrea, congratulations on becoming the mother of the Queen. You must be so proud.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
was thrilled to see that article and so proud for Erin. Good
Thank you.
luck.
I'll let her know. Thank you, Melanie.
Anybody else? Seeing none, close public. Mrs. Bergen? You're up.
I would just like to thank our new sergeants. So very proud of them and wish them Godspeed and the continued best wishes and safety as they service our town. Also, same thanks and Godspeed to our telecommunicators, who are absolute granites of rock stars as they maneuver through some very challenging and highly emotional situations, and have never let anyone down there. Behind the scenes, but truly wonderful and fantastic people. And Dan and Ken, great jobs. I have no favorites, right? But they all did exceptional jobs, and what I thought was very inspiring was how many of their staff members and employees came to support them in their presentations. It shows the loyalty that they have developed in their departments and the support that they have from all of the employees that work so hard every day so that they do their best. So thank you for supporting them. Thank you, Mayor, for making Brick Township a wonderful place to work and a wonderful place to live. And I wish the best to all our employees to continue to serve you to the best of our abilities. That's it.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. The one resident, Mr. Campbell, had an idea about broadcasting that video. I think that'd be awesome. Anything, I think that would shut them down, right? I mean, if people aren't going to be dealing drugs, if they got a video of their live feed of their drug dealing going down, I wouldn't think. So I think that's an awesome idea. The beach replenishment started, finally. So we were waiting, we're supposed to start in November, then they bumped it to December. Went over to January and then March, but it started. Saturday, April 7th was the first day, and they set up the pipes and started pumping the sand. So it's going to be happening, or is happening. It should be about 3 months, they say, which means it's going to affect after Memorial Day weekend. But it's the same plans as originally. We spoke about it so long ago. I know that people may not remember. But what they do is they close off 1,000 feet of sand, and it's about 3 days, and then they move it 1,000 feet. Then they move on. Next 1,000 feet's closed for the next 3 days. So it's not as if beaches are going to be closed, but there is going to be a little bit of minor inconvenience for the months of, beginning now, if you had any interest in going over there, but continuing May, June, and hopefully it'll be done at that point, or sometime in July. As long as there's no other storms that would delay it, that's what they're blaming all the different delays on, were all the different storms that we had this bad bad winter with the different nor'easters and things. So it's going to be a successful beach season. We're going to have our giant beach back, and it has all finally, after all these years, begun. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Starkey.
Yes, I just wanted to follow up also on Mr. Campbell's comments. There are several things the town does to combat those issues. Obviously, the first and foremost, and always first response, is the police department. Always should be called first. DIFUS is an obvious avenue as well. We could use help on the other tool we have, which is the ordinance we've adopted, and specifically, we don't always know that people are tenants of properties. The police don't always know that. We don't always know that. We can only use that tool when we find out about tenants. So if you know, and I'm saying this to you, but to anyone, if you know someone's renting or a tenant in a property and you let the police know, or you call here and let us know if there's an issue, we can then use that tool. And we try to keep up with it, but we just don't always know. So it's some information where we can get the public's help, and we can do better to enforce on our end. So I just forgot to make that point when you're up, and I wanted to make that point. So thank you again.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Nothing, thank you.
Ms. Hartman? Nothing. Councilwoman Zapsik?
Thank you. I have a couple brief announcements. The Brick Township Recreation Department's Cultural Arts Series begins on Saturday, April 21st, with a two-person show at Civic Plaza called As Time Goes By. The curtain time is 2 p.m. The show is free. It's part of the Cultural Arts Series, which is paid for in part by a grant from the Ocean County Cultural and Heritage Commission, with funds provided by the New Jersey State Council on the Arts. And if you call 732-262-4622, they'll be happy to set you up with a reservation for that show. The Green Fair will take place on Saturday, April 21st. This is the last time you have to hear me talk about this, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Brick Township High School. BMAC will be having a clothing drive, so it's time to clean out the closets and get your spring clothes out and get rid of the old winter clothes, pack them up, bring them over to Brick High School, put them right in the truck. The recycler takes them back and weighs them, and we get 20 cents a pound for the clothing donations. And that clothing stays right here in the United States. It's funneled back to organizations that help the needy. It does not get shredded for textiles. It does not get packed into a container and shipped overseas. It gets recycled right back here into the local community. So we would appreciate your support on that. On Monday, April 23rd, Ocean County College will host their second annual Substance Abuse Prevention and Recovery Summit from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The agenda includes speakers, representatives from the prosecutor's office, experts in the field of substance abuse. There will be Narcan administration and training certification sessions. This is a free event. It is open to the public, but they do ask that you call ahead and register, and you can call Jennifer Barnes at 732-255-0400 extension 2536, or Jay Barnes, J-B-A-R-N-E-S at ocean.edu. I would like to congratulate and thank our volunteers, our public safety telecommunicators, our department heads for their excellent budget presentations. And last but not least, I would like to congratulate Sergeants Bartolucci and Kelly on their promotions and wish them well in their service. On a personal note, when my husband and I moved to Brick Township almost 30 years ago, it'll be 30 years this July, the Kelly family was one of our first friends. And I can't say enough good about them. I watched Charlie grow up. My son was 2.5 when we moved into the house. Charlie was a year older than my son. My daughter was in school with Charlie's twin sisters. The family spent a lot of time together. I had the pleasure of supervising Charlie as a lifeguard when I worked in the recreation department. So he's very near and dear to my heart, and I'm really happy to see him rise through the ranks. He's a fine police officer, and I can't even call him a young man anymore. He's got gray in his hair. It makes me feel old. But I wish both of them well, and in their new endeavor for them. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Halloran?
Thank you. I too want to thank both Sergeants Bartolucci and Kelly and wish them safe passage in their journeys and their careers. They do an excellent job. Also to our telecommunicators, who are quite the first line when people are in need in emergency situations. We kind of forget about them, but I've unfortunately have had to use them on occasion through my life, and I know that they are very calming and keep you poised. I could learn a lot from them. So I wish them well and congratulations. Certainly congratulations to Susan Gardner for leading us for so many years, and congratulations on her retirement. That's wonderful. We're a fortunate town to have such a great library, and in the county, the Ocean County Library Service is probably one of the best in the country. Tremendous system. And the volunteers, we need more volunteers, and it's a thankless job. They're out there, season after season with the children, working hard, and we appreciate it. In today's environment, where parents don't always have the time to, volunteer and do things with their children, these guys are out there all the time, so we really appreciate it. And a special thanks for the presentations tonight to Dan Santinella, Ken Mathis, and Ken Summers. They do a great job. Their departments are always commented on as I go through and meet other residents. They certainly appreciate the work that they do, and we certainly thank them. My last thing is, again, I always say something about the beach. April 21st is Beach Sweep. 9 o'clock at Brick Beach 1. It's going to be interesting because we have the replenishment going on, so maybe we can clear the debris before they come in and put the new beach in. So that'll be good. And that's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Crate?
I don't have much. To be clear, I do. I love you all equally.
Too late.
No, I really do. You know that. And the three gentlemen sitting up there, two of them seemed a little nervous, and they did a good job presenting, and I just appreciate them. I appreciate all of you. I try to tell you as often as possible. But great job to everybody. I know we're at the end of our budget presentations, and I do appreciate all the time that's spent from all the departments putting everything together so that we have a clear understanding up here as we sit here of what their needs are and what the needs are of the people for the town, really, because that's who they're aiming to help the most. So I appreciate everybody that sat up here the last few meetings and spoken about, their departments in particular, and all the advice that we've received from, our business administrator as far as understanding everything that we're looking at. So thanks to all of those people, and have a great night.
Thank you. Councilman Fosman?
Thank you. Congratulations to both the new sergeants, Kelly and Bartolucci, sorry. And congratulations to our telecommunications operators for doing a fantastic job. The library, Susan Gardner, and have a nice retirement. And that was a shocking announcement because she was here so long. National Volunteer Week, the sports clubs coming out. I know there's a lot more guys that probably didn't make it, and they do a great job. I used to coach myself, and it's a thankless job there, and trying to mold the children. It's really good. Budget presentations, Dan Santinello, Ken Mathis, Ken Summers, for the budget presentations, did a fine job. And I'd like to talk about leaf collection. Thank you. 2018, so if Monday's your recycling day, you put your leaves out on the 12th. You got to bag your leaves. If your recycling day is Tuesday, you put them out April 17th, Wednesday, on the 20th, Thursday, on the 25th. Don't forget, bag them, bring them out by the curb. If you have any questions, you call 732-451-4060. Or you can bring your leaves to the Public Works on Ridge Road. It's open on Saturdays. Also, there's a paper shredding on April 14th. It's this Saturday, 9 to 1 o'clock, and get there early if you have any papers to shred. And I'd just like to bring up another important announcement here. I'll show this right here. This is the Martin Family Benefit. I'd like to announce the Martin Family Benefit to be held this Saturday, April 14th, between 12 and 4 p.m. outside the Windward Tavern at 292 Princeton Avenue, Brick. There will be live music, food, gift auction, and a 50-50. Schedule appearance by the following bands. There's going to be a lot of bands there. On the Rocks, Bad Dogs, Brew Crew, Easily Distracted, and Mike Dalton will be playing. Admission is $25, which includes a chance at door prizes and one food item that will be serving. What happened is Quentin Martin of Point Pleasant passed away on February 26, 2018 due to serious injuries from a car accident. He worked for DCM Construction work here in Brick and was a very loving husband to his wife, Lauren, and very loving father to the children, James, Jocelyn, and Landon. His love was spread throughout the large family and friends, and many whom reside here in Brick. He was a skilled carpenter known as Mr. Fix-It, who would do anything for you. Please support this wonderful family and get tickets. They're only $25 a ticket. I'm sure everybody can stop by and give a little love to this family. Thank you.
Councilwoman Pontorero?
I want to echo all of my fellow council persons' comments, but I want to focus for a moment on the accomplishment of receiving the Humanitarian Award by our very own Mayor, John Ducey. Again, that's going to be on the 19th at Crystal Point. So what does it mean to be a humanitarian? It's somebody who not only talks the talk, but they walk the walk. John Ducey has, as part of his administration of this town, hired people with various disabilities. So he's shown our town that people with mental or physical disabilities can serve a purpose, can be valued, can be validated. And that's something that you don't see in very many administrations, so I'm so proud of our mayor in doing what he did to deserve this humanitarian award. I know he kind of chuckled when he was reminded that he's receiving it, but to me it's such an honor and a blessing to work with someone who does what they say they will do. The last thing I wanted to talk about was, again, when you are witnessing any form of child abuse or neglect, whether or not you believe something will come out of your phone call, please call 1-800-NJ-ABUSE. If you are interested in serving as a foster parent for children who have been abused or neglected, please call DCP&P and tell them that you're willing to serve. I've been a foster parent for over 10 years, and I've been lucky enough to adopt all 3 of my beautiful children through the DCP&P. So I can tell you can help children right in our own area who need homes, who need love, and who need protection. So if you're witnessing any form of abuse, 1-800-NJ-ABUSE. And have a good night.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I just want to congratulate our officers that were just promoted, along with, and I'd like to thank the telecommunicators, our youth sports volunteers, and congratulations to Miss Gardner on her retirement, and thank you for all of your years of service. As usual, I have a buy-in brick update. A Shore Style on Manalocan Road. They actually opened yesterday. They are offering a 7.5% rebate, and they are a home business organization, but they also do closets and pantries and playrooms and basements and anything like that. So if you're in need of some spring cleaning help, call A Shore Style and get your tax rebate. Also, we have on Tuesday, April 17th, next Tuesday at 5:30 at Civic Plaza, is the second open house for the Brick Bike and Pedestrian Master Plan. This is to go over a survey that was sent out, the findings of that, along with asking for any additional public input. And that is all I have for this evening. Our next scheduled meeting is on Tuesday, April 27th at 7 p.m. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All approved?
Yes.